Hello students, welcome to my channel Somarin's Bio World. So today I am going to discuss about the central nervous system, and this includes the brain and the spinal cord. So today we will only discuss about brain and its function. As the CNS, it coordinates all the movement of our body. So it is very important unit of our body. As this is very important structure of our body, so there should be a well defined structure for its protection. So there are three ways to protect this important unit or brain. So the three ways are cranium, meninges and cerebrospinal fluid. The cranium, on the head, the hard part, the bony part or the bony case is known as the cranium. And if we see in case of spinal cord, the vertebral column, it gives protection to the spinal cord. So then is the meninges, and these meninges, these are three layers, and they also gives protection to the brain. And these three layers are dura mater, arachnoid and pia mater. The dura mater it gives rigidity to the brain because it is very hard. Then come to the arachnoid, then is the pia mater, and this pia mater, it gives protection to the brain from different types of mechanical injuries. And the third one is the cerebrospinal fluid. And the cerebrospinal fluid, it is present between the arachnoid layer and the pia mater. And you know that in some way the blood is coming to the brain, and from the blood vessel of the brain, some fluids, they come out in the process of diffusion, active transport, and they come to the outside and they collected between the arachnoid and the pia mater. And as this is a fluid structure, so it gives the mechanical support to the brain. If it will be a hard structure, then any type of outside pressure, if it exerts on the brain, then it will make us damage to the brain. But as the cerebrospinal fluid, it is a fluid, so it acts like a cushion or matrix. So it gives, in this way, it gives protection to the brain. So in these three ways, the brain has been protected in our body. Then come to the brain. As the brain, it is the important unit of our body, and its weight is 1.3 kg. The brain is mostly formed of interneurons. I am not saying the brain is fully formed of the interneurons, but most of the neurons are interneurons. And this brain is divided into three parts, that is forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. So first come to the forebrain. If we see the forebrain, it has two parts, that is telencephalon and diencephalon. That is telencephalon and diencephalon. So first come to the telencephalon. The telencephalon, it is again divided into some parts, and again the diencephalon, it is also divided into some parts. So first come to the telencephalon. Here you can see the telencephalon, it has two parts, that is cerebrum and olfactory bulb. The cerebrum, this is the cerebrum, and this is the large part of the brain, and this is the most part where all the sensory information, it comes to this part of the brain. And this cerebrum, it is the outside of the cerebrum is grey in color and the inside is white in color. Why this is grey in color? As here in this cerebrum part, the cell body of the neuron part is present and these cell bodies are non-myelinated, which appears grey, and here in the medulla region of the cerebrum it is white color due to presence of the axons which is surrounded by the myelin sheath which appears white in color. So the outside of the cerebrum is grey in color and the inside is white in color. And again, in this picture it shows the cross section. So this looks like this, but if we look the brain from the front side, so there is a fissure which divides the cerebrum into two similar halves like this, and these two similar halves, they will connect inferiorly by a bundle of fiber which is known as, this is the bundle of fiber, this is known as corpus callosum. And this corpus callosum, as they are the bundle of nerves and they are actually the bundle of axons. As there should be interconnection of information between the two cerebral hemispheres. So this corpus callosum, it helps in the transfer of information between two cerebral hemispheres. And the two parts of the brain are known as the cerebral hemisphere. Okay, and you can see there are some elevations and depressions, they are present in the cerebrum, and the elevations, these are known as the sulci and the depressions are known as the gyri. And depending upon these sulci and gyri, number of sulci and gyri, the intelligence of a person can be judged. And these two hemispheres, they contain two cavities which are known as the lateral ventricles. Okay. This is the structure of the cerebrum. Then come to this is a small structure which is known as the olfactory valve, and the function of this olfactory valve, it gives the it gives the sensation of smell, and it controls the functions about the smell. So these two constitute the telencephalon. So then come to the diencephalon. The diencephalon, it consists of these four parts. This red color part is the thalamus, and below this thalamus the green color part is the hypothalamus, and below the hypothalamus there is a small gland present, that is the pituitary gland, and behind the thalamus there is a black like structure present, that is the amygdala, and behind this black structure, that is a blue color structure, that is the hippocampus. So in later we will discuss about the function of all these structures. So the thalamus, hypothalamus, amygdala, hippocampus, all these four structures, they forms the diencephalon. So the forebrain, it consists of telencephalon and diencephalon. So next come to the midbrain. The midbrain, this red structure is the midbrain, and there is no division of this midbrain present, and this is only a connection between the forebrain and the hindbrain. After the midbrain, then come to the hindbrain. The hindbrain, it consists of cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata. All these three structures, they form the hindbrain. The cerebellum, it is present below the cerebrum and above the medulla oblongata. And like the cerebrum, the cerebellum has also outer cortex which is grey in color and inner branched white matter. This is the medulla structure. Then come to the pons. Pons is the this is the swollen part of the swollen tip of the medulla oblongata, and here in the pons the nerve fibers between the brain and the hindbrain, they cross among themselves. So the right side of the body, it functions its function controls by the left side of the brain or the left cerebral hemisphere, and the left side of the body, different body part, their functions controlled by the right side of the brain. Then come to the medulla oblongata. The medulla, it is the last part of the hindbrain, and it continues as the spinal cord. And this medulla oblongata, it contains a cavity which is known as the fourth ventricle. These were all about the structure of brain. Then is the function of the brain. So first you come to the cerebrum. The cerebrum, all the sensory information, it actually comes to the cerebrum and it processes it, and then it gives response to all types of sensory informations, and it also helps in controlling the voluntary activities and also maintains the speech making. Then come to the olfactory bulb. The olfactory bulbs, it gives the sensation of smell. Then the thalamus. The thalamus, it is a relay station between the sensory and motor information. When the information first comes, then it comes to the thalamus and it will choose which information will go to which part of the cerebrum, and again the information it will send to the motor neuron, carry out the function. So thalamus is the relay station. Then come to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus, it maintains the body temperature, anger, thirst and blood pressure of our body. The hypothalamus, as it contains a gland, that is the pituitary gland. So this pituitary hypothalamus, it also secretes different types of hormones which different types of body functions. So the hypothalamus, it maintains the chemical coordination of our body. Then come to the amygdala. The amygdala, it is responsible for pleasure, punishment and sexual assure, etc. Then come to hippocampus. The hippocampus, it helps in learning and memory. Then come to the midbrain. It gives response to sight and auditory reflexes. Then come to the hindbrain. The hindbrain, in the hindbrain part, the cerebellum, it helps in balancing the body, and it also initiate the impulse for different types of involuntary actions like heartbeat, salivation, breathing, then swallowing, vomiting. All types of functions, they are controlled by the hindbrain or mostly by the medulla oblongata. So any damage to the medulla part of the brain, it causes even death to the patient, because by causing any damage to the medulla oblongata, there will be no involuntary function will carry out inside the body. So the patient, it will ultimately go to coma, or he may be go to die.